Hey guys, so I've not been around. One of the reasons I've not been around, and I don't think I've told you this yet, is that I now write for Airsoft Action magazine. One of the things that I get to do with Airsoft Action magazine is like cover events and cover product reviews, go out and talk to manufacturers and retailers, and I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to every now and then record the conversations so that you can kind of watch along with me and learn as I learn. So that's what we've done today. I went over a couple of weeks ago to see James at Bespoke Airsoft to talk about all of their manufacturing in the UK. Well, hope you enjoy it. I am here with James from Bespoke Airsoft.
Hello.
It's awkward, isn't it? You've got a whole entire product line that you are launching as Bespoke.
Yes.
And I'm right in thinking it's all UK manufactured.
Everything, yeah. Everything is manufactured in the UK.
Why is that?
Say if we decide to go to China, we might get things a little bit cheaper. But I can't control what's going on over in China, where we work with a company here that's quite local to us. So if there's any changes that need to happen, or if we need to check if everything's okay, I can literally just jump in the car, go to the factory, and we can deal with it there and then. And it's not massively more expensive than you'd think than getting stuff made in China. So
really, because the general consensus is that it's really cheap in China.
It is, but you can probably get it just as cheap here in the UK if you're making stuff in the right quantities out of the right materials. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, in terms of the processes that you go through, how do you figure out what products you want to manufacture?
Well, we sort of fell into it with the Aries Striker platform because it was when we opened, it was a new product. We were selling a lot of them at the time, and we were having them open every day, finding issues that Aries struggled with their QC. So it sort of just snowballed from there, from an idea, and that's what opened the door to us into the manufacturing route. But when I started Bespoke, I knew I wanted to get into manufacturing. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while before even starting with Bespoke. So that just sort of went from one idea to the next.
Okay, so you started with the Striker. What have you got for the Striker so far?
Well, we started with, we were doing a lot of custom builds. We were sourcing parts from Edgy Custom Works in the Philippines. Very expensive. The kit, the quality and everything like that is perfect. I can't fault it whatsoever. The Striker platform has less air available behind the BB than compared to a VSR. So it's got a smaller cylinder air volume ratio to the barrel. So we started doing the dual bores from Edgy, which again were expensive. They're about £120 for a barrel. So we actually got the idea off a friend of mine who runs a sniper blog, and we went with the short build. So then we started doing the short outer barrels, which is this one here.
Okay.
And then it was basically doing the same thing as the dual bore barrel, but it was shortening the rifle as well. And we do understand that not everybody wants a short sniper rifle, but the 290mm length inner barrels that we fit into these things perform just as well as a long barrel.
Okay. And how many tests do you go through to make sure that's the case? What's the quality control?
Well, with the outer barrel, once we got the drawings finished, it was a case of the company that we work with are very knowledgeable. So the lead engineer there punched a few numbers in on the CNC machines. The barrel came off. We took a reading. We tried it on the rifle. We knew what we had to change. And he's that fluent in coding that he just hit a few buttons and everything changed and was perfect from the get-go. We did have a little issue with the barrels where we made it so it fit the gun perfectly, but then Action Army released a upgraded hop unit system that we hadn't foreseen, which didn't fit the barrels. So what we did is we actually recalled all the barrels that we'd shipped out, which was worldwide. So we had them recalled from every corner of the globe, and we changed them out for a new one that we'd already started making the adjustments to.
So that's not the only time that you've seen something that needs to be fixed and done that.
Well, we went from the barrels to the full upgrade kits. The Striker suffers with a bad sear design, so we wanted to completely redesign the way the trigger box worked, have a true 90-degree sear system, which is what we've done. And we wanted to make the cylinder housing itself out of one piece, because the standard cylinders that come in the Aries Striker and the Aries upgrade part all suffer from a poor design, and they can break within the first couple of times using it. And as far as I'm aware, we're the only company in the world to produce a cylinder for an airsoft sniper out of one piece of stainless steel. So that was quite a difficult thing to do. We had to do a lot of research into tooling to make sure we could produce this part. But then that will go on to other systems. So if we decide to do parts for like VSRs or anything like that, we will always try and incorporate that sort of process, the process of manufacturing of that cylinder into other platforms. Now, when we released this kit, we were working with this company, and we were promised that if we made the pistons in aluminium and then hard anodized them to a certain depth, that they would be up to the task of taking the force from the spring and the sear. As we released the pistons, we've had a few reports of the pistons being soft, and it's actually down to the anodizing that's on the piston. It's not a fault on our part, but instead of mulling it over and just hoping it'll go away, which I imagine a lot of companies do these days, I wanted to get out in front of it. So I made the call. It cost us a fair bit of money, but we've redesigned this part in stainless steel, so it's going to be a lot more hard wearing. But anyone that's bought an upgrade kit from us will have the new part posted out to them free of charge.
Why is it important that you do that and make that call as a business?
Because right from the outset, the brand I knew was going to be important to myself. You can almost look at the brand as a projection of my own personality, kind of thing. So I want people to think, not only when they think of Bespoke as high-end parts, what we're making, I want them to think that when they buy something that the company's going to be there for them no matter what.
So you've mentioned your sear kit.
Yes.
What do you package it as? Do you sell individual kits? Do you sell individual parts?
We do 3 sets. They're all labelled as the ED1 range, which stands for Edition 1. We do a sear trigger set, we do a cylinder set, and then we do a complete set which comes with both, obviously for a little bit less of a price than buying the 2 individually. Our sear sets will work with any cylinder as far as I'm aware of. They'll work with the HPA kits that people have brought out, like Mancraft. And you can use it on any platform. When you're using the cylinder kits, the complete upgrade sets, we say we want you to use our sears. And that's basically not to say you have to use our sears, but as a warranty point of view, we have to focus on our parts only. So if there's a third party part that's going to be damaging our kit, unfortunately we can't do anything about that. But this is why we stress using our parts, because if anything goes wrong, you're 100% covered.
Gotcha. So along with the Striker, you're also working on other manufacturing projects.
Yes, we've got a lot in the works. I always try to plan ahead, so before we've even started finishing like the ED1 kits, we've already got like another 17 projects I think in the works, which I know sounds quite a lot, but I don't want there to be a lull. I want there to be a constant releasing of parts and to make sure people know that we are still working on other things. So we're working on other sniper platforms. We did stuff with the Crytac Vectors. We did an extended mag release. Again, with that, it's a perfect example. You will always have things that you don't foresee before the product releases. So I think we sold about 250 complete mag release sets worldwide, and I think 5% suffered an issue where the material, so I don't know whether it's a mix in the aluminium that we used, just suffered a little bit of a problem where it was a little bit more flexible than the others. So although we've got 500 of these kits in stock, we won't sort of sell any more until that part's been revised. And those that have had any issues with the material issue, because again, it wasn't the design at all at this stage. It was just the material and where it had come from, and the mix of aluminium that had come through. So once that part's revised and done, we'll put them back out. So
okay,
it can be quite a costly thing, but again, I want it to be everything 100% before I put it back in the store ready for dispatch.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. And it's difficult to kind of predict those things until you have a mass amount of feedback.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go into who it is that you're working with, but what's their background in terms of manufacturing? Is it airsoft related, or is it? No,
it is literally aerospace and Swiss machining. So yeah.
Wow.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And again, a company that's got such an experience in more I'd say, more important industries, like the parts that keep the plane up in the sky, they can still have issues like these material issues that isn't a fault of their own, but just where the materials come from. So it can happen to absolutely anybody, but it's how you deal with it afterwards, I suppose.
Yeah. So in terms of projects, you say you had like 17 in the works?
Yeah, we've got we do springs. We make our own springs now. We do them for the Tokyo recoils. We do M150s, which we obviously needed for the ED1 kits. We've got another 25 springs due for release, but we have to wait for basically the manufacturing to catch up. Inner barrels is a big one. We've put a lot of research into that. Not only do I want them to be as accurate and the quality aspect as best as it can possibly be, but I want them to be affordable as well.
Yeah, so price point's an interesting thing. By manufacturing yourself, you're able to set the price point without third-party involvement, right? Yeah. What's the aim? What's the aim with that? Like, so manufacturing is cheap, almost as cheap here as it is in China. Mm-hmm. Your words, not mine. I've manufactured nothing, so I wouldn't know.
From a price point as well, like with our ED1 kits, we probably could have sold them for more money and made more profit, but it's a superb bit of kit, and when the pistons are finished, as far as I'm aware, I mean, we are working on a few little tweaks here and there to make the bore finish of the cylinders a little bit better as it can be, because it's not an easy part to make. But we're still half the price, and that makes me happy. So
great.
It's affordable. So
all right. So you got the barrels coming out. Anything that you're particularly excited about?
There are two projects I'm very excited about, but I can't say anything.
Oh, that's a teaser.
It's going to annoy some people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll avoid talking about that right now then. If somebody has any questions about any of the stuff that you've talked about or any of the stock range, how's best to get in touch?
Multiple ways: email, any type of social media that we're on, YouTube even. I mean, we listen to feedback as well. So, I mean, even on the parts that we manufacture, if you find a fault, let us know. If we can, we'll implement it. And if it's substantial, like there's a guy in Canada that spoke to us about the bore finish, and obviously it doesn't change the way the gun performs. But if he thinks there's something that we could do better on, then we'll strive to do better.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I really like getting to know the people behind the companies. And hey, you know more about Bespoke now, so really, it's a win-win. If you want to know more about them, you can go check out their social media. Links are in the description, along with links to Airsoft Action magazine. That is the magazine that I write for, and it's been a lot of fun, and I think you should go check it out because I wrote an article on this topic as well. If you don't want to do that though, or in addition to that, I'm over on Instagram now. We post regular content, we do live streams, and we talk a lot. For now though, don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. And there will be a next time. Take it easy.